Hi, this is Kathy Goodwin, and today we're going to start on a new series of website mistakes that are so easy to make and yet so easy to fix. First mistake is when someone says, I want what she's having. We've all been in restaurants where we look at the next table and someone has something that looks especially delicious, so we say to the wait person, the server, I want what she's having. And they bring it, and it's the same food, it's delicious. But on the website, it doesn't work that way. If you say to me, I saw so-and-so's website and I want what they have, almost always you'll get something totally different. And that's actually the way it should be. It's not the best way to start. Show me samples. I get this a lot. Show me samples of what you've done. Well, if I make a website for you, it's going to look totally different than a website I've made for someone else. And there's a reason for that, because you're different from someone else. You're at a different business stage. Even if I try to make the website exactly the same, I probably won't, because you've got a different message and you're communicating differently. I'll give you an example. I've been working with a client on a website where I basically sketched out the header, which is one of the things I do for my clients, and we went to a designer to have it ramped up and make it look more professional and put some bells and whistles on it, make it really jazz it up a little. And we chose a designer that she really liked because we saw samples of his work on my site, on someone else's site, and maybe a different person's site. And I warned her, I said, well, on the header he did for me, I designed it myself and he just executed. And giving someone a blank check when saying, I like what you did, won't work. In her case, for instance, she had a logo, and her logo was so different from my logo and the other person's that it just totally changed anything the designer could do. The colors were different. The whole impact was different. So even if someone wants to do the same, you're different. And looking at samples of someone else's work probably will be misleading. Make it sound like me. This is so common, and it's understandable because, we don't want to sound like a used car salesperson. We don't want to sound like someone different. We like to believe that our clients like us for who we are, and they usually do. But what does this mean? Well, if you try to replicate your nuances of speech, the language you use, that generally isn't going to work. And usually what happens is, if we really want to make a website sound like you and reach your goals, we encourage you to choose your own goal, choose your own message, and really be true to yourself. When you have a sense of what you want, or when your web development person, when your copywriter gets a sense of who you are, then your message and your whole style and your whole persona is going to shine through your website. You'll get something that is uniquely yours. It won't be a cookie cutter. It won't look like somebody else's. It will be uniquely yours and will present your message in the way you want, and yet in a way that's contemporary and that's appropriate for your market today. So the key is to focus on your message, focus on you, and really what makes sense for you right now. For example, you look at someone else's site and you say, oh wow, I love what they did, but they're maybe in a totally different field. Maybe they're trying to appeal to a corporate market, so their website has to look very different from yours. Or maybe conversely, they're trying to scale down, they're trying to slow their business growth and appeal to a smaller market, and you may be doing just the opposite. So the key to a successful website is to know who you are, and if you don't, it will often come out during the process of website development. A lot of times I'm surprised at how your brand and your whole message becomes clear as you develop your website, not necessarily even if you start working on it before. If you need further help, you can reach me at kathygoodwinmarketing.com. You can schedule a consultation. That's usually a great way to find out what your message is, to really nail it in a way that can be transformed into a website. And finally, I have a consultation where we actually do a detailed diagnosis of your website and suggest changes for the future. Thanks so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you on a future call.